Hello, good evening. It is Jenna Marcus Scotney here, taking over the Wild Ginger YouTube for her interviews on a Wednesday night. And the reason that we're taking over is because Claire is now on maternity leave, but as of yesterday, she had her gorgeous little boy. So massive congratulations, Claire. I don't think she'll be watching right now. I think she'll be a little bit tired and recovering, but yeah, we're so glad it all went well. And apparently you can see Claire's labour on Strava.
You can indeed.
What do you do?
Kind of following Reenie's advice from last week, because Reenie was saying like, kind of boiled sweets are really good for an upset stomach in an ultra.
During the race.
Yeah, but I thought I'd better kind of get some practice and some training in.
But you're not racing.
Okay, I'll leave them for later. Maybe got to put them out the way.
I'm not sure that was the take I took from Reenie's advice.
Well, I just want, you've always got to keep kind of training your gut, she said, wasn't she? But anyway, I've got a horrible feeling tonight that tonight's going to be a bit pants, Jen.
Oh God. Just get all your puns out.
Hopefully this is appearing to be seamless. Is it kind of seamless?
I'm so sorry, Rich.
Should we bring our guest down tonight?
We've got a whole list of puns up here. Don't worry.
Okay, well, you get 10 points for everyone you get in.
Yeah.
Well, good evening to Richard Edmonds, who is, what is your glorious title at Runderwear?
CEO.
CEO,
Well, yeah.
Top dog.
Yeah. CEO,
Boss.
but co-founder, and I lead this rabble down here in Dorset.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for coming on this evening, and we're going to be talking a little bit about kind of how Runderwear was started up, a bit about your kind of sporting background, and then any questions what might come up during the interview as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's very good to be here. It's good to chat to you again.
Yes, we have met. You made me do a horrible, fast part run in Dorset once. I think that was my last part run. And probably could be for a while. I've never done any race that's that flat.
Yeah, it was a great day. The weather was the sun was shining. It was lovely weather. It was great.
Yeah, I can definitely say for the record that you don't do many park runs, Jen, do you?
No, I don't.
Just a bit too short for you, aren't they?
And,
Maybe they were strung together, so they made like 100 miles or 190
if I did
miles.
it over, as many in 24 hours, I could cope with that.
That might be more your... Anyway, it's great to have you on tonight, Richard. So, yeah, Runderwear. What is it? How did it start? Kind of share us a bit about that journey.
Yeah, Runderwear. So Jamie is my best friend. We met at university. There's many things we can say about the kind of journey of it, how we met. It was actually the first person I met. We met at Loughborough University. We were there together, and we were on the same corridor in our halls of residence. And he was a finalist. I was a fresher. So he went off and graduated and then moved to London, and I was doing my thing. And then we always said when we were there, we'd love to do something together, love to do a project together, both quite entrepreneurial, I guess, and had done different things, off our own back, and running that one of our passions. Oh, there's the dog you mentioned. Running
he's got better puns than Marcus, so he's come to join us.
I looked up and Marcus had gone. And
it's like a magic trick.
Yeah, like, what happened there?
So if you're listening to this on the podcast, I just had to sneak off quickly, put something away. So I kind of disappeared out of shot, and then Sherlock has appeared. If you'll listen to this on the podcast, that's what happened there.
Sorry, you were saying that you...
that's absolutely fine. Surreal, but fine. So look, we were both passionate about running. Jamie took a year out after university and did an Ironman and got really into he did Ironman UK and then did a few marathons and really got into his running. And he did the New York Marathon and he got pretty bad chafing during the race.
No photos of that, thankfully. That wasn't one that you sent
What
through.
blisters or kind of armpit chafing you're talking about?
I don't think that's
other
what
areas, Marcus, that you don't want to be chafed. And he as he does, he phoned me up and he was like, "Oh mate, how was it? How's the race?" Like, "Oh, it was great. I had really bad chafing," and I had thought about like what underwear I was going to wear, for the race, and I was just kind of sticking on my normal underwear. And I looked around the New York Marathon Expo, which I don't know if you guys have been over there, but it's like London Marathon Expo, huge hall, full of brands and full of products. And he said, I couldn't find anything. The only thing I could find was a women's pair of hot pants, which I got. He claims they were a size large, but
I didn't realise he'd actually bought those. I thought this was there was nothing for him because that's all
still out. But he, that it was amazing that in this massive expo hall full of probably 20 sock brands and 20 nutrition brands and on all this stuff, that there was nothing for that first layer in that area, and so we were kind of like, I wonder if we could make some and have a go at trying to solve that problem for ourselves first. And it really did come about as trying to solve a problem rather than let's start a business, let's make some money. In fact, it's never been about that. It's always been about from that route of solving that problem. And it was amazing because we took the first product in the back of my Vauxhall Corsa, turned up to the London Marathon Expo, with all these sort of huge, massive brands, lorries and stuff parked in the hall, and then suddenly we were in this little purple Vauxhall Corsa, and we have a little tiny stand, and we had just some men's briefs and women's briefs, and we put them out, and people were like, walking past, Runderwear, very good, and then like, actually, I have always thought about like, what do I wear underneath? Let me have a look at them. And then we explained, the whole process. We've been on this 2-year mission, traveling all over the world, trying to make this product. And we'd ended up in this really nice family-run factory in Portugal, where they made seamless clothing, and we managed to make some underwear with these guys, and people just got it straight away. They're like, exactly, I know what you're trying to do, and let me try them. And it's a 4-day expo at London, and we were sold out in 2 days, which was good, but also bad because the Friday and Saturday we were kind of just twiddling our thumbs, going, what do we do? Just to talk about it. But it was just that classic kind of entrepreneurial spirit, runners. We went on this journey together around the world, looking to try and make this product whilst, running and doing races. And, it was just a really cool thing to do. And 7 years later, we're, down here, and we've got 14 of us down here in Dorset, and, a great team of people that are passionate as we are. And, so there's a lot in between those points, as you can imagine. But it's just a business that's built on passion. You've met me, Jen, and I'm a runner. I've been running. I joined a club when I was 13 years old at Charnwood Athletic Club in Loughborough, and that's been the biggest part of my life. So to be able to get in every day, and all I've got to do is make runners more comfortable and, tell people about it. Like, it's a privilege to be able to get up and do that. Like I'm sure you guys feel with your coaching, it's amazing to be able to do something that you love every day. Doesn't feel like work, does it? It's just, it's your passion. So yeah, we're very, very lucky.
And what was the plan if Runderwear hadn't been born? What were you doing at university, and what were you planning on doing for the rest of your life? Or had it not really worked out at all?
Do you know, I'm not a kind of guy that has that plan. I don't think I would have been able to work for someone. I don't know if I'm employable. I've always wanted to do something that I'm passionate about. I think it's really important that you do something that you care about, because I think then you get the best out of yourself.
So what were you studying when you were there?
Well, I have got a really random story. I was just thinking whether I mention it or not, but one crazy thing that you don't know about me is, during when we set up Runderwear, just before that, I was actually on Britain's Got Talent. This is gonna send a tangent, and I don't want it just to be talking about that. But I was doing a little dance show, very random, with a friend of mine from Loughborough, a comedy dance thing, and I know you're gonna ask me what it is, and you're gonna YouTube it. See us there, but we got
down below.
Yeah. But we got to the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent, so it was like it became a thing, and then we were traveling, all over the world doing gigs for a period of time after that. Before the next load of people come in and whatever. But it was, that's what I was doing. Yeah,
Runderwear, stop the fame.
I was biting cardboard masks of celebrities and dancing all over the world to the YMCA and other Village People songs. That's pretty much what
were you wearing when you were dancing, Rich?
Oh, the latest prototype of Runderwear, of course. But yeah, no, and it's I'm very proud of it. I started off doing that, but busking. So we used to do sort of Covent Garden and the street show, my friend and I, and then we did the TV thing and managed to have a few years out of doing it, and it really helped that start of Runderwear having some financial ability to be able to, because we weren't paying ourselves anything from Runderwear, so it was able to give us an income whilst we were trying to build this product range and tell people about it. So it was not the most normal story, but
that's brilliant. But those skills are so transferable, aren't they, from being in the arts? For the hard work you've got to put in, like that busking, giving that time up, that kind of real energy needed to be successful in the arts is so similar to the energy needed to be successful in a business as well, isn't it? It is that, like you say, it's that passion.
And that's where being a runner comes in as well. Like I couldn't have the discipline doing what we do day to day if I hadn't been running since I was 13 years old. I'm sure you guys feel the same, but I owe so much to running with the way I am as a person, and the coaches that gave up time when you're 13, 14 to install that in you. Like, we meet at the park on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock every week, and your friends are all off doing something else, but you're there, and we're on the track on a Monday and Wednesday night, 6:30, like be there, and that kind of discipline. And then as it progressed and my running progressed, it was, you're getting up and you're running before school and you're doing these things that just creates that kind of, that disciplined approach to and structured approach to everything that you're doing. And just got to keep turning up, as I say, all the guys here, it's just like running, it's consistency, isn't it? It's just keep turning up every day. You don't have to be, have just one great week. You've just got to just keep turning up and doing a little bit more, a little bit better each week, and gradually over time that gets it. And that's the same with business, and the same approach with Runderwear. We're not trying to be a huge business straight away. It's one step at a time. It's just keep turning up every day and doing our best and making the best products we can, and hopefully people will appreciate that effort, and they'll enjoy their running a little bit more because of what we're doing. So it's running and like you say, that dancing, that discipline is really important, especially when you start leading a business and having other people within the business as well. Yeah, it's good.
And tell us a little bit about why Runderwear pants are necessary for running. Why do we need them? What's special about them?
Well, for me and Jamie, when we first started talking about it, a lot of it was, the inner lining in shorts, in men's shorts. Marcus will know this. I mean, it is terrible. Like it's a kind of loose-fitting, awful add-on part of the short, which has no real support or benefit to the man. It's just there in a short, and it used to just wind me up. I was like, honestly, like you get these shorts, you pay all this money for this amazing like outer like layer, and it's really light and this and that and the other, and they put this really crap liner on it, and we were like, oh, is this the best that we can do as a running community? It doesn't make any sense. And then also, that's where the material's not great. There's lots of seams on it because the way it's having to be onto the shore. So you're then getting the potential rubbing. For a lot of people, they do get it, that rubbing and chafing of the seams against the skin, especially when you get hot, and you're sweating. So it just seemed a bit crazy. And so when we were thinking about, right, what could we do? Seamless, having as little seams or as little connections and having, one piece of material was always our aim, because seams did seem to be the big problem, for most people. And when we were members at the time, we were members at Serpentine Running Club because we were in London, and we'd go on like the Wednesday night, club run, and pictures of us, sitting at a bench in the leisure centre, just sending people out with different pants to go and run in, and then they'd come back and be like, yes, this material and this material, and so it was really organic the way it went about. But the thinking from a male perspective initially was that, and then speaking to female friends at the club, it was about wearing something under the leggings. That leggings were like becoming more and more popular, and like whether it was capri leggings or leggings themselves. And some people were going commando, but again, with those leggings, the risk is, as you know, on most of them, there's so many seams all over them that you have that risk of that abrasion against the skin. So that kind of protective layer, you don't really feel like you've got underwear on. It's very light. It's very thin, but you have that protective layer against the skin where the seams from that outer legging or short isn't going to rub against the skin and cause that friction. So that was the kind of thinking behind it, and it it's pretty simple when you think about it. Going about trying to make them.
Yeah, Adrian Orange says he rips the liners.
I think I used to cut some
out of his shorts. He says they're a complete waste, and I agree with some shorts. I mean, going back in the 90s, showing my age here.
Are we talking about that green pair that you have upstairs?
Well, I mean, back in the 90s, we used to just have 3-inch split shorts. You didn't get like the trail shorts you get now. But we did, as you quite rightly say, the only kind of thermal underwear you maybe got was Helly Hansen, which did have a windproof section at the front, which maybe we can talk about that later at the end. But in the winter, that bit of Pertex at the front of those were amazing. But I would wear 3-inch split shorts under tights, because it was the only thing to give me some support and was kind of wickable or breathable to a degree, which was better than kind of cotton underwear. And I must have had like some ruckles maybe in the tights. I probably looked great from behind. But yeah, there was literally nothing I could find. So it was just wear running shorts under tights to give you some level of support and stop any kind of chafing.
Yeah, exactly. And for some people, they'd get away with that. And some people that really do suffer from chafing and problems in that area would not get away with it. And, there just wasn't anything out there. And, there's lots of brands that do boxers and pants and briefs and whatever. But the 99.9% of them have got seams all over them anyway. So it kind of like, it negates the point of protecting you anyway. So, it was a strange, and I remember those shorts. I'm old enough just about to remember those really short shorts, Marcus. You have to get them out for the podcast.
I think I've got a picture of me running around the Charnwood track in a pair of Nike 3-inch split shorts at the Leicestershire 3,000 metre jumpsuit.
It's funny. My parents a few months ago, they dropped a load of old sort of stuff from my house to sort out, and I just this morning actually put in my old pair of Loughborough purple shorts in the wash, because they just sat in the loft for 10 years, 15 years or whatever, and they are so short. I can't even imagine when and how I got away with wearing them. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
The Purple Ron Hill, and I don't know if we should be allowed to mention other brands during this, but
I think they're Reebok actually. Reebok sponsored kit back when I was
retro running chat now.
Yeah, but I know what fashion's like. Give it another kind of 10
you?
years. Well, how fashions come round, not that exactly.
I'm not sure those short
fashionable.
shorts are going to come back.
I'm sure, well, the footballers are always, their kit's changing, aren't they? Going from long shorts to short shorts and stuff like that. So maybe in 10 years' time, kind of 2030, I'll be digging out my kind of 3-inch split shorts and be kind of setting the trend.
Just keep them up.
The elastic might go in them by then, though. But who knows?
Well, we're going to have to make like really, really small underwear by that. Just go under the 3-inch shorts.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. I think before.
Well, I'm going to move on to
talking about small underwear for what
No,
I
I'm
might
going to move
need.
on to bras now.
Oh, okay.
How
Bra
did you
chat.
get into making bras? Like, how did two blokes end up? Were you hanging around that park?
Hannah's also already asked us to please keep the shorts hidden away, guys.
So how did you branch out into bras when I don't think you or Jamie would wear them for running yourself?
No, thank you. No, not. Thank you. That was a compliment. Yes. Do you know what? We've always been customer led, Jen. To be honest, everything we've done has been, for anybody that follows us and who's on our database and talks to us on our social channels, will know that if we're doing a new color, we ask our customers, what color do you want? Like, what products do you want? I don't think we've ever made a product that Jamie and I have just sat around and gone, oh, do you know what? We should do that. It's just been, people have emailed and gone, hey guys, have you ever thought about doing a longer version of the boxer short? Well, no, but okay, let's have a look at that. Or in this instance, it was from our female customers who said, look, we absolutely love the attention to detail and everything you've put into the underwear and the socks that you make. Have you, could you consider doing a bra? We don't feel there's a bra brand that is really focused on, again, the aspect of support whilst, the chafe element to it, and and you hear horror stories about, really bad chafing from bras for people. So it's just something that we then, we had a team by that point, very fortunate of having some female members of the team who could lead this. And it was it took 2.5 years of development till we launched our first bra. We don't just do it and then that's it. And it was, literally so many iterations. And we brought out our original bra, and then it was right. Okay, we need a more supportive bra for larger sizes. So the Easy On bra came out about 1.5 years ago. But like there, we sampled and we worked with. I think Jamie was like the last count. We had 120 women that had worn the bra, tried it, feedback. Everything we've done. We don't have a huge product range, and the reason being is because we take our time and make sure that when we launch it, it's right and it's it's great. And I just think the bra thing, personally, I think the bra, looking at the bra world for runners, speaking to female runners, just really underserviced, and kind of, I don't think females have been really looked after in that area. It's such an important piece of the wardrobe for a female runner, and there's lots of brands, but they're all the same, and they're not really thinking. You can tell that it's just like it's another. Oh, the chat is that we've got a new color. It's not like we've got a new development to try and help. It's like, oh, look at our new color this spring. Like, oh, great, but tell me about what kind of functionality changes you're making, and where's your marginal gains kind of approach to trying to help female runners stay chafe free and supported. So that kind of annoyed me. I get annoyed by problems that need to be solved, and so we just did the same thing as we did with the underwear. We just designed, developed, looked at what was good and bad, and traveled all over the place, and eventually made our products, and really proud of them. And it's not what we're known for yet. The underwear is a big part of it, but I'm really proud of the reviews that it gets, and the press that it's got, recently, and we're gonna have another bra that we launch next year as well, which will sit in between the two, in terms of kind of specific size range. But one of the big things about us is, we offer, and it's hard when you're a small business, but we offer 63 sizes of bra. It's an incredible amount of inventory to hold when you're a business.
It's quite bewildering when you're a woman and you don't really know. I just stick with the crop tops, I must admit.
Well, the fitting of it is the hardest thing to get right, especially as we're a predominantly internet-based business. So, getting that virtual fitting thing right is something that we throw a lot of energy into. And, we offer free, bra fitting packs, and we send out to them, and we have videos, and we'd really try and help, because, the majority of people just don't know their right bra size.
No. I have a variety.
Vary so much. And, so, do get it regularly retested if you are listening and you're looking for a new bra. Get it retested as regularly as you can, and you can do that yourself. That we've got a virtual fitting tool that at least can give you an indication, and then when you can get fitted properly, maybe at an event in the future, like we're doing a lot of fitting when we can go to the National Running Show. We're going to be doing, we've got a bar where we're going to have multiple professional fitters there, really just getting everyone's fit and getting them into the right fit bra for them. So it's just, it's a big thing, bra. It's a big challenge, but hey, why not take it on?
Yeah, it's an important part. Jessica Ward, who's watching us live, says it only takes her 3 miles to get chafing from a shock absorber, which is another make of sports bra, isn't it? And she actually prefers a non-sports bra, like a sleep bra. So again, it's that kind of branching out, isn't it? Trying different things, like I was saying before with pants. So yeah, I think as male runners, we don't think about that kind of thing, do we?
No, because like one of the worst things I've had is in the long ultras, like particularly when you're going for like over a day and stuff, I've just had where my heavy pack sits on my bra, just rubs there. So that's why I use the crop tops, because they don't have that fastening which would sit where your pack is, which is the problem with other bras.
Yeah, and it's actually, some people, we sell a seamless crop top, and
that's the one that I use. Yeah,
it's something that people will sometimes even put under a bra if they need that extra support. I don't think that shouldn't be the solution, and we should be able to design and develop and make a bra that is able to do both things, and that's what we do with our Easy On bra. I believe, with the feedback that we get, but the crop top for less support needed is perfect, because it's made like our underwear. It's seamless. It's made on so how seamless is made. It's made in a 360-degree motion, so it's circular knitting and then connected at the bottom, so it's just one piece of fabric, which obviously eliminates the seams that you would have ordinarily on a cut and sew type product, and maybe we get into it, but also obviously saves a hell of a lot of waste of fabric when you're just making one piece of material, as opposed to just cutting out from a long piece of fabric and then just chucking away the waste. So there's lots of benefits to it, but the seamless crop top is really ideal in that sort of scenario.
And then you got socks coming up as well. Because I think I read somewhere that was actually like a family business, is socks. But they weren't your first products. Is that something that you've come into after? Or?
As we were developing Runderwear, we launched socks. We called it Run Breeze socks. So it's now.
Now I understand that picture with some sock and a hazard sign on. You look like you've stolen a computer.
You've got an iMac under your arm.
I had just stolen that from another larger brand stand. No.
Excellent. Doing well at a trade show. That's always an important bit. What can I get out of this? An iMac will do nicely.
Yeah, thank you very much. To that large brand. Socks. My granddad made socks. So my granddad I'm from Leicester. Leicester was the centre of hosiery in the UK, and my granddad, post World War II, he was a knitter, so working a knitting machine for 50 years of his working life, and then my dad took an apprenticeship within the same place, and still works in socks today, and is Mr. Socks really. He does a lot of projects within socks now, but what he doesn't know about socks is very well nothing really. He is that is his thing, and he's so passionate about it. So when we first decided we were going to do it, we said, we'll do so. As we were developing the Runderwear, my dad actually designed our first sock, which was our anti-blister sock, our double layer sock, which is still going today and is our most popular sock that we sell. So I was very lucky to have him be able to support us with the socks and help us, design and develop, and have that kind of that decade of experience behind him. And he's active and did London Marathon a few years ago, and he's fully aware of what we need as runners as well. So combine that with all that knowledge, and we're very, very proud of our sock range, and it means a lot to me because having my sort of granddad and dad both in that. It's quite funny though. I do remember one time coming back in the car from training, and we were, I don't know, arguing about something, as you do when you're a teenager, arguing with your parents, and I was like, I will never ever work in socks. And I can remember where we were pulling in on our estate where we live. I can remember the road. I remember the exact moment. It must have been like, right, my brain must have gone, trust me, you need to store this. You'll need this later on, this moment. But I can still see it now, coming back from a track night at maybe 15 or something, and just sort of having that chat. And here we are. Thanks, Dad.
Jessica Ward, who was that's the wrong quote coming up there. Jessica Ward has asked, is there a museum of your granddad's sock business, or is there a museum dedicated in Leicester, anywhere we can kind of go in Leicester?
We've got a few things. My granddad actually passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that.
We've got a few things, to do so, like, that just doesn't happen anymore, does it? 50 years, the same thing. Like, it's I just admire it. Like, that just for me blows my mind. He was knitting socks, walking up and down all day, looking after his row of machines for his whole working life. I think they don't make them like that anymore. It is a dream of mine. I would love to just have 3 or 4 machines somewhere where we could make in the UK, and be able to then go straight in and do that, and then set that kind of up. So we've got some of the things from my granddad and my dad and whatever, and just kind of put it on the wall, and the pictures in Leicester. It would be really cool. I would love to do it. Maybe one day I'll be able to.
We've got a question from Ben about the socks, saying, any plans to make socks with separate toes?
Well, there is one particular and a couple of brands that do that very well. And, I think early on in Run Breeze, what we learned was it's not so good to be good at everything. It's better to be the best at something. And I think there is already, a couple of people out that are very good on it. So how do you improve that? That thing. I think you'll hear what I've said so far is all been about improving things, like the crap lining in shorts, and there's absolutely there was no underwear for us runners to wear, and the bra industry letting down women when it comes to chafing. So I think everything we've always done has been about solution and trying to find solutions. So at the moment, it's not in our plans. We have other socks that are in our plans. We want to develop our merino range particularly. It's my favourite sock. We do a merino sock, and I just wear it all the time for everything. So I would love to develop that that more, and we've got a good product range line on socks, but that's not on the list at the moment, unless there is we look at it at some point and we think we can make that even better, then we'll leave that for those guys.
I've got a business idea here, because one of the things that women complain about is using heart rate monitors with bras. Could we have an inbuilt one? I've just moved to a heart rate sensor on my arm because it just doesn't work with a bra, is what I found. So that was just my little request.
Should have waited till it was off air and then pitched that. Everybody else is now hearing this.
Oh no, okay.
And it's going to be going, hang on a second.
I was asking it for the women out there that are struggling.
Yeah, we've looked at it already, and it's something that, as we develop our bra range, we'll certainly be looking at. I think the difficulty with that maybe is the technology of heart rate is going more and more closer to the wrist at the moment. So I still wear a strap around the chest, but a lot of people are relying on the kind of wrist. I think all the new kind of watches now wrist-based heart rates, aren't they? And I don't think it's as accurate, but it's certainly there's
not our coaching clients. We don't like that.
It's not. I try and steer people away from it because it's just not accurate. It's using an infrared beam rather than an actual electrical impulse, which chest strap does. But
it is frustrating because I've got one that does it, and I've switched back now to using this because I do a lot of training on heart rate. All my easy runs, I try and do keep in the right zones to make sure I'm running as easy as possible. Brilliant. And I go out with the wrist one, and it's like I know I'm not, but it's like your heart rate's at 160. I'm like, I'm literally if I go any less, I'm not running. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
We had a question about when you were, was it about the running show? Further down, I think. Or did we not have that question from the Facebook one? I think it was saying when you were headlining, is it at the running show or was it at the London Marathon Expo? I can't remember which one it was. But you kind of went from this very small company to suddenly doing some pretty high profile events. So somebody had asked how that felt.
I'm wondering if they mean doing the Blogger Awards, where we respond.
Sorry, I thought we had the question up, but my technical assistant hasn't set that one.
I think just, but the point of the question is how has it changed, I guess, and I don't think it really does. Yes, you're selling more underwear and socks, but ultimately, the aim every day is to improve the product and get people passionate about it. So it's not. Yes, there's more people involved, and there's certainly bigger things in terms of structure of everything and all of those sort of things, and all the bits you have to do. But the spirit is the same. So and we try and keep that spirit the same as long as we can. I mean, what was cool is not like everybody that works with us down here. They a lot of them are not runners or weren't runners. We don't just employ runners, but they have all become runners. Because I think that kind of passion for it and enthusiasm for it just rubs off on people. So like the virtual 10K that we did at the weekend, we had 5 of our team, which is not big. 5 of them just did their first ever 10K, like on Sunday, and that's probably the coolest thing, for me and Jamie, is actually seeing those people, going off and doing a 10K. And when we're able to work in the office, we do a lunch where we go off and run together, and so it's just nothing's massively changed. Whether it's it used to be me and Jamie going off and doing a lunch, now it's me, Jamie, and a few other people, in non-COVID times. But yeah, it's maybe things change as you get a little bit as you get bigger, but I don't. As long as our culture remains the same and our intentions of what we're trying to do, then I think that's the most important thing.
And has kind of last year, obviously with lockdown and the COVID situation, has that changed? Obviously, the way you do a lot of business. Have you seen a change in kind of how the business has been run, and also just the upshot of what's happened to your business?
Yeah, I mean, a bit a big part of our business, because we're predominantly direct to our customers, is going to events. And I think we've all missed events, whether it's having something in the diary to aim for ourselves personally, or just to see people, from the community that you see, and to meet new people. And events has always been a big part of our journey. I sent you guys some pictures of us.
Sorry, Sherlock.
That's Sherlock.
Events, and that was a big part of starting this, is word of mouth, going to these events, turning up, and one of me and Jamie would run and the other one would not run and stay at the stand, and then we take it in turns the following weekend. So events has been a big part, not being able to go to events for us. But yeah, you have to adapt, don't you? You have to be agile, and doing these virtual runs and getting involved. And the first lockdown, we did a 60-day challenge where I went live at home in my lounge with my family every day.
No, that was way too tidy to be your lounge.
Every day at 9 o'clock with it. And we just did that every day for 60 days, every single day, weekends, and you talked earlier about that consistency, that relentlessness, that kind of just keep going and keep turning up. And, so that there were things that we can do. And, we said to the team as soon as it happened, let's focus on the things we can control, not the things we can't. Stay positive. People are running. Let's help and support the best ways we can, and we know how to. And that was it. Be positive.
Yeah, I mean, I did see some of the 60-day challenge, and I must admit I did not do the whole 60 days because that is way too hardcore for me. Have you got a background as a personal trainer?
Yeah, so me and Jamie were both personal training as well when we were, doing Runderwear, because it takes ages till you can, eventually be able to, pay the bills. So we were personal training, I was dancing, we were doing all sorts, anything we could to try and, just follow what we were doing, follow our passion. So yeah, personal training, I've been very lucky, to personal train some incredible people that have become good friends, but also athletes, and from different things, not necessarily runners, but tennis players, footballers. So I've been able to have a good varied approach to health and fitness, which has been great. And if I can help pass that on a little bit, on the kind of strength and conditioning side of things to support runners, then I always do. And the 60-day challenge is good, but 60 days is a long time, actually. Yeah, kind of talking about it just before we went on to lockdown with a couple of the team, and I was like, yeah, no, I reckon, yeah, that sounds good. And then it kind of like day 30, I was like,
and these, I think they're still on YouTube, but this wasn't like just a 10-second routine. These were quite long videos. You set the standard quite high.
Kids would come in and jump on you, and it was just normal. But that kind of first lockdown, there was that spirit. I think it's harder now, isn't it? We're in the bleak midwinter.
Come on, we need a 60-day dancing from you.
Yeah, no.
I think my dancing days are maybe done, but
never
know. You never know.
We've got a question from Guy, who says, a few years ago you helped support the celebrities running in their underwear to promote body image. Are you going to support more campaigns like that in the future? And I would say that's one thing that I've always found about Runderwear, is that it's very diverse in the ambassadors that you have and the people that you're supporting.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Bryony Gordon, who is an incredible person, and her and her friend Jada, who is a plus size model, incredibly beautiful, very successful. They did the London Marathon, and they wanted to do it in underwear to promote that anybody can do it. Anybody can go and run, and we threw ourselves really behind it and supported them. And then then the following year they did this Celebrate You campaign, which was at the Vitality 10K in London, and we supported people. We made so you could come onto the website and buy the underwear, and then we would print on the back kind of the message you wanted on the bum. that came from Jamie. Used to always do he still does. He did comrades and whatever. He always wears just Runderwear, and he'll put a little message printed on the back.
Oh, we got one of the patrons on the Facebook group, John Avery. Hopefully doesn't mind us quickly sharing his photo, but he ended up doing parkrun once in his Runderwear, and I covered it up very quickly. But yeah, he kind of turned up. I think forgot to pack his shorts.
He said he left his shorts at home, and it was a hot summer day, and he should have taken the t-shirt off too.
But apparently encouraged some of the female runners to a PB. I don't know if that's running away or behind him.
Chasing him. No, but it is something that's really important to me because, we are, although I've experienced the elite side of running personally and been around that, Loughborough and in my younger running days, what I've seen through Runderwear is the power of running. And, I mentioned it about the team here and, that kind of, that feeling of success. It doesn't have to be a sub 30-minute 10K. It can be a sub hour and a half 10K. It doesn't matter. But that whatever anyone's goals is, it's really important. And I think as a running brand, it's really important that we do that. And that's why we offer so many sizes. I can tell you right now, the bras that we offer and all those sizes up to a H cup, and we'd like to do more eventually, that nearly really affected us financially, like really did. But I was not happy to be able to just go, oh no, like some brands would do, I'm just going to do up to an E cup and then everyone else can, sorry, not interested because I'm not going to sell that many. That's not what we're about, so that's why we've made those decisions. I think it's really important. I don't, I'm a big believer in, the power of running, and anybody can do it. So, why, if I believe that, why should I then make, underwear and bras that people can't get and use? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, we try our best. Obviously we can always do more, but it is hard. We will try and do J and, go up in the cups and try and do larger sizes. But you've got to be able to keep putting the lights on as well. So, but we will, our pledge is always to try and push that as much as we can. And I think we all should. Like, it's, the worst thing is when you see those stories of like people, when I hear online or, felt really self-conscious about it. And I just think like everybody's been a beginner. When I turned up, to the track when I was 13, I didn't know anything about it. Like, we're all beginners at one point. It doesn't matter. And actually, I think all of us that have been around the industry and about running for a long time should be the ones that are helping encourage the people, because we know what it was like to be beginners and take those first steps. So, I think that it'll always, as long as I'm here, it'll always be a big part of what we do.
And you touched on a little bit there about your running, and so can you just give us a little bit of background about how long you kept your running up for, what you're doing now and things?
And how much was a mix with dancing?
Yeah.
I'm expecting, next time at your finish line, I'm expecting something quite special.
Yeah, we get the Tom Evans salute. We want the Rich Edmonds dance.
So my running, like I say, started at 13. I joined Charnwood Athletic Club. It was... I had an injury playing rugby, couldn't play for the rest of the season, and somebody in my school, a girl in my class, was part of Charnwood, and her dad said, look, I'd ran a few cross-country races and shown some talent for it, without doing running. And he'd sort of been there, and he said, look, listen, why don't you come with us? If you can't do contact sports for 6 months, why don't you come down and have a go? And I never went back to it. I just got a really good group of friends there straight away, fantastic coach, and it was just, I just think running's like, it's an individual sport, but actually from a club level there's so much like camaraderie. And we used to do these, the Young Athletes League, and you go on the bus together to all over the Midlands, and you'd turn up, and it was unbelievably sponsored by McDonald's back then, which was bizarre. But, you know, you'd go to these events, and, you know, and even then, like I was, you know, getting quite serious about it and running then English schools and, you know, that kind of level into counties and doing quite well. But I would still, if they needed filling in, I'd go and do the pole vault, you know, or like have a go, or go and do the long jump. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't have anybody to do it, or like, yeah, stick me in the relay.
I used to do shot put and 800 metres and all sorts.
Let's just pause there for a minute. So what was that? Doing the pole, that to me, I mean, I used to rock climb, but doing a pole vault just seems absolutely kind of Bob scary, because you're going to be at the end of a pole, and if you don't fall the right way, you're going to end up landing on not a nice big mat. How high were you doing a pole vault at? What was this?
I did, my PB was 2 meters 50, which is not just above the world record for the high jump. So it's not.
Well, I thought he was going to say something else there, but okay, yeah.
The team manager was like, you know, oh, you know, we need a couple of people just to get a point. You know, it'll help if we just get a point, or we might get more, because not anybody had pole vaulters really, very rarely. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll have a go. You know, a couple of lessons down, obviously a couple of bruises, but a couple of lessons, and just about get over the opening height, and that was it. Then I'd walk away and get ready for my 1500. But yeah, no, I was doing 800, 1500, and you know, just really, and then cross country in the winter, and then you know, did the kind of went through the system, so like say English schools and 3As and all those sort of things, and then went to Loughborough to mainly to run, you know, to do my degree, but it was running, and I'd met George Gandy, who recently passed away, an incredible coach who'd been coaching at Loughborough for years and had helped support Seb Coe and Paula and all these amazing athletes through Loughborough. And he'd met me the year before when I was at Charnwood, because obviously I'm using the same track, and you know, had encouraged me to come to Loughborough and, you know, join the group, and you know, just met some incredible people. I roomed with a guy called Chris Parr, who is still running today, very, very quick, and is an incredible guy. And friends like Chris Thompson, who's gone on and done you know, incredible things in running, and, you know, training with these guys day in, day out, was great. But I just think, you know, from my perspective, you know, I could see the difference between a Chris Thompson dedication to me. I've always been so interested in so many things, you know, so, you know, he could train and then just go and chill out all day and then train in the evening, whereas I'd be like, right, bouncing off the walls, what's next, like, what are we doing? And so, you know, my recovery periods were never quite as good as anyone else's, just enthusiastic about other things as well. But no, just loved it. And I, you know, I think, you know, ran pretty good times, and you know, did some great stuff, and managed to go to Boosa and represent Loughborough and do all those things, and you know, just really enjoyed it. But then post university, I was obviously dancing and moved to London and doing all those things, and started Runderwear. And in London, when I lived in London, I found running a lot harder, you know, in central London, because I lived, you know, I'd go around the parks and stuff, but it didn't, you know, I'm from a place where I could go out and run through the woods and run off-road in trails, and, you know, beautiful. And I love
Beacon Hill and Swiveland Woods.
Yeah, Bradgate Park. I mean, I grew up 2 miles from Bradgate Park, so, you know, every run would be around that area. It's a very famous place for people running around that area in Loughborough. And, you know, so I grew up there, and then suddenly being in kind of the city, that running, you're stopping at every road, every traffic light, you know, it just pulled the enthusiasm away. And also I'd been competitive, and I felt like I wasn't going to be at that level anymore, so I needed a change. So I kind of ran a bit, and I did a bit of CrossFit as well. I actually opened a CrossFit gym in London, and I kind of got involved in that, and, you know, running was always there, and I'd still be doing the odd park run and races, but it was kind of like, you know, I'm not going to be as fast as I was, so I need a break from it. Whereas now my goals have changed, you know, and actually a couple of years ago, we moved down here 3 years ago to Dorset, and and my wife and I took up triathlon, coming down. She was an ex-swimmer, I was an ex-runner, and I couldn't swim, so that was I love a challenge. So I've learned how to swim, and it's a great place down here. We've got the Purbex and the beach, and you can run, and we can go cycling and swim in the sea, or, when it's a bit warmer, and so it's a great place to be able to do triathlon and train for that. So we're both now, just kind of balancing our training, but your goals change, don't they? And I ran at the weekend, and that's the fastest I've ran a 10K for maybe 10 years, and I'm now at the point where I'm really happy with my time, whereas maybe a couple of years after finishing Loughborough, I was like, oh my God, what did I just run? Whereas now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm genuinely really pleased with my times, and I can set goals again and reset them. So my running journey's been kind of weird, because it's gone from like really trying to be a runner to, oh well, I'm not quite at that level, so I do different things, and now I'm like, oh, I really want to try and improve again. And it's also, like I say, it's being around the team, and we've got some fantastic people in the team that all love running, and they just get, right, we're going out for a run, let's go.
You've got some really nice places to run. I was very surprised at how beautiful the coast was on Dorset. I knew it was beautiful, but I realised how hilly it was. I thought I was going to miss the hills, but I actually managed to find quite a lot of hills within the first few miles. So where's your favourite places for running near you?
Well, the Purbex, I think, the kind of trail run I mentioned to you, I think, just before we started, but the Maverick race series has some fantastic races. They're based down here. Ben, I'd give him a shout out from Maverick, who's a great guy. And actually, I see him because our kids are at the same primary school. So I see him on the school run, and I'm like, oh, when the event's going to start again. And,
I'm sure he's asking the same question as well.
Yeah, it's really hard. But those guys do some fantastic events around here in places like the New Forest, as well as the Purbex. They're just brilliant. Actually, all of those areas, I've really got into that trail running, off-road, just going out for a run, especially, I don't know if you guys have done much through the New Forest, but, it's just great. There's just miles and miles of trail to go and do. And, it's on the doorstep, and we're very, very lucky to live here. But it was the same in like you mentioned, Marcus, Braggett Park, and that's still my favourite place in the world to run. That's home.
I was just going to ask you about if you managed to do any races or runs when you were travelling for years with Runderwear, but you're just going to tell me that it was best in Loughborough.
I'm so Leicester-fied. So Richard Edmonds is proud to be a fox here. We did, and I've ran with Jamie all over the place. Trying to, whether it's in Asia or in Europe, everywhere we've gone, it's have trainers will run, and everywhere we've gone, it's been a big part of our story. Is we go off and we do our runs together, and we find a race and we do it. Jamie was on a trip. Sourcing some fabric a couple of years ago, and did an ultra in Hong Kong, really good ultra there. So we're always, if we're going away, we're looking for a race. Like we're looking for something to do.
Sure it's not like look for a race and then fit in some work with it?
I mean,
it may look like that sometimes, but no, it might, the dates might change of when we need to go to.
Yeah. Well, we've got somebody tuned in from California, Tim Brennan said hello from California. So you might want to start thinking about trying to get the other side of the Atlantic into America, kind of breaking into there, because they're tuning into this.
We just took on our first person in America, so start of January. We've been there. We've done the New York Marathon Expo as Runderwear in Boston, and it was great. And there's certainly exactly the same feelings amongst runners there that this is a great solution.
So you've been wearing hot pants. They kind of fed up with the hot pants.
In California, mate, it's a bit warmer, isn't it? It's certainly where we've been so far on the East Coast. New York, we've done Chicago and Boston, and we've represented Runderwear at those expos, and the reaction was the same as it was at the start when we started in London. It was, tell me about it, because I do have this issue, and I would like to see if you can solve it. So, it's early, very early days, but we're very excited to do that, and to help runners in the US as we do here.
We just actually, going back to your triathlons, we did have one question from Chloe Mason. She says, I love Runderwear, both the bra and the bottoms, wouldn't go back to anything else, so happy customer, you don't need to sell it to her there. But she said she wanted to pick your triathlete brain on what distance or particular triathlon would be good for a first go at a triathlon with a road bike. Does she need to do a bike race first, or does it matter? How did you get into that? Did you just kind of throw yourself in?
The usual Richard, I think it was just like straight into it, wasn't it, Richard? From what I'm hearing.
I will tell you how bad it was. Genuinely nearly drowned. So there's a race called the Salty Sea Dog down here, which is a great name for a
I think you need a bit more Dorset accent when you say that, don't you?
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that. Salty Sea Dog. And it's down here. They have three races a year. One at the start of June, July, and August, and it's just off of Boscombe Pier, which is just the other side of Bournemouth. And it's a sprint or a half sprint or a sprint, which is perfect. So when we decided to do it, we got up in the morning, went down, and it was only really like I'd borrowed a wetsuit, and we had a couple of just normal bikes. So you don't need to go and get everything to do it, just to try it and see if you enjoy it. And I would advise that you do get the basics together and try and do it and see what you think, because it's a very expensive sport if you do get into it. We went down, and my wife is, like I say, she's an ex-swimmer. There's like 250 people in this race, and we go off in the sea, and it's a reasonably rough day. And I just kind of remember sitting on the beach. Do you know what? I can't really swim. Like I know, like I can sort of swim, but actually, could I swim 750 meters in the sea? And it was only literally about 5 minutes before the race that came into my head. I don't know why. And it was only because I'd been in Leicester. It was like the furthest point from the sea in the UK. I did my 25 meter badge when I was 6, and then just didn't swim for 30 years, 25 years, because I didn't need to. The only time I went to the swimming pool was if I was aqua jogging or something, if I was injured. So I'd never, or on holiday, which you can stand up in the pool. So it was a bit ridiculous. But anyway, Laura went in, my wife. She was second out of the water, out of everybody, fine. And then, I didn't know she was, to be honest, because I was so far back. And I came out lots of things happened in that. They asked me if I wanted to get out, the guys on the canoes and stuff. I kind of did backstroke for a little bit, and then, it was so... Anyway, I got out. I was second last out of the water, and the lady that I beat, I looked at the results, and she was in the 70 to 75 year age. And I beat her by 10 seconds on the swim. So I was, I think it was 250. I was 249th out of the water. 15 minutes behind my wife, over 750 meters, which is, not a huge distance. But, did it, got on the bike, and I think sometimes with these things, the answer to her question, you've just got to go and have a go at these things. I would advise to learn to swim a little bit, not have that experience, but borrow a wetsuit, do it on a bike. We have friends that go and do that race on their day-to-day bike and just want to go and complete a triathlon. There are events like that are perfect for that sort of thing, where you can just go and see if it's something that you think you could get into and enjoy. And it was, although that had that horrible experience, then it kicked me into going to learn how to swim. So
So what's next? What's coming up this year for you, if assuming we're allowed out at some point?
Well, I would like to do another half Ironman. We did one in the summer, so my wife and I did a family Ironman to raise money for mental health charity down here in Dorset that we support each year. Do something, and we did a kind of family Ironman in the day. So I did a half Ironman in the morning, and then she did the afternoon, and then I think I said to you guys earlier, the kids then did a little mini thing at the end to finish it off and stole our thunder and took all the plaudits, but that's fine.
Well, you can't let a 3-year-old do a half Ironman, surely.
No, she did her little scoot and
even this competitive dad wouldn't do that.
Like, hang on a minute, I've just done a 5-hour half Ironman. Like, she just ran for 100 meters. 3.
Yeah.
But no, so
we like that Britain in talent mindset. That's what you want. Britain in talent mindset. Come on.
But it was really good, and we were. It was great. So I'd like to do another half Ironman maybe at some point. I kind of enjoy the training and the challenge of that. I'm entered for Manchester Marathon. Whether that goes ahead, I'm not sure. Let's see. But obviously it's on to October, so fingers crossed. And I've got about 5 or 6 of the Maverick races booked in as well, so I'll definitely be doing those. But my personal goal is I'd love to get my 5K time down this year. So I'm going to be doing a kind of shorter, sharper for the summer, and then maybe then build up to that longer run in October. So so that's personal. And then Runderwear is there's lots going on. New people coming into the team. We've got an exciting plan for the year ahead. This US thing starting to happen. We've got some fantastic new products coming out in the summer, including to extend. We've got a long sleeve base layer that we brought out, which is seamless and has been really well received, and we're going to extend that range slightly as well.
Yeah, I really like mine. I wore that for the last few spine races. It's really good.
It's fun. The feedback has been great, and we actually won an award for it in the running awards, national running awards, which were announced at the end of the year. So we're really proud of it. Again, it's one of those things, like I said to you earlier, it's just one product, but it took a long time to make and put together, and it's extending that is going to be exciting as well.
Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you.
I hope to see you at something.
Are you going to make me do a virtual 5K with you next weekend or something? Did you say that?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm washing my hair.
Yeah, I'd like to see you do that, Jen, and Marcus. You can let us know how that goes. I do remember now when you weren't particularly pleased about that, were you? Like, but you did it. You got through it because it's that as well, isn't it? The pool park run.
Yeah, I know. And I think also I don't really work in K, so I thought I was doing dead on 3 miles, and then when I wasn't at the finish on 3 miles, I kind of died a bit.
That little last loop around the cricket pitch.
Where you'd all finished ages ago and were waiting for us.
We had a picnic waiting. We were ready. It's fine.
I think you'd finished it by the time I finished.
Hey, if me and Jamie do a race together, it gets competitive. He beat me last weekend to make it 1-1 in our virtual series. So it still does get a little bit competitive, but it's good. It's good to have that.
Yeah, it's good to have very competitive and that pushing each other, isn't it? It keeps you kind of.
You'll always find that one person you want to beat, right? It doesn't matter what level you are. You'll always have that one person.
Yeah, gives that good bit of motivation. So you get out on the horrible, wet, rainy days like it is today.
I got out today with my Runderwear base layer on.
Excellent. How many more plugs can we get in at the moment? Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Rich.
It's been brilliant chatting to you, hearing all about your journey. We're off to get on YouTube now to go and explore a little bit more of Britain's Got Talent, maybe.
I wish I knew that before you'd come on. I could have found bits.
But now everyone knows about it, so now you're going to be looking for that. Have a fabulous kind of rest of the year, and hopefully we'll bump into you at some race.
Fingers crossed.
Once we get out of this lockdown, and we'll keep
and thank you to everyone that's listened, and just good luck with your running this year, and hope you all achieve your goals.
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And thank you for joining us tonight as well. Hope you've enjoyed it all, and we'll speak to you all next week. We'll see you all next week, so have a good rest of the week. Stay safe. Bye for now.